When corrupt cops make mistakes, the outcomes can be lethal.
No.
Touch me again.
Sir.
Get the f off.
Sir.
We are about to examine 4 officers who made such significant mistakes that they destroyed their own careers in minutes. It appears that this officer disregarded all his training except for one specific aspect. Sergeant Police had served with the Sunrise Police for 20 years, making his actions during an arrest in November 2021 even more puzzling. Upon arriving at the scene, he found his fellow officers involved in a struggle.
On my wrist, I can't move. Marshall, let go. Somebody get in
So just get in the car. Alright, get in the car.
The suspect had been apprehended on Sunset Strip following an accusation of assaulting another man. As officers tried to place him inside the patrol car, the suspect resisted. In response, Sergeant Police, relying on his 2 decades of experience, took the lead by pushing aside other officers to handle the situation.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You want to play games? You're playing with the wrong mother.
What you gotta do, man? You gonna mace me?
Look at me, mother. You want to play games? You ever get disrespectful with my officers, I will remove your...
The suspect complies when the highly aggressive officer steps in. While one might expect the situation to conclude there, the officer inexplicably becomes more enraged until a noble cop decides they can no longer stand by and watch.
You want to play games? You ever get disrespectful with my officers, I will remove your soul from your body.
Do what you gotta do.
No.
Never touch me again.
Sir.
Get the f off.
Sir.
The officer must have been having an awful day, as it was his threats to extract the suspect's soul from his body that prompted the young female officer to intervene. This action clearly further enraged him, resulting in him grabbing her by the neck. This act was not just illegal and an extreme overreaction, it was also a frightening ordeal for the rookie officer involved. The officer was eventually charged with felony battery of a police officer, which carries a severe punishment. As expected, he chose to retire from the Sunrise Police in November 2022, and at this moment, his case is still ongoing. This incident is just one of many examples highlighting the crucial role cameras play in police work. Cameras are not only instrumental in apprehending criminals, but also in capturing instances of misconduct by law enforcement officers. In a dashcam video from a man in Seabrook, Texas, he captures the moment he is pulled over by a patrol car, deciding to turn his own camera towards himself to document the unfolding events in all their evil glory.
Roll it down?
Why do you pull me over?
I'll tell you that if you roll it down.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something from your car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm yelling?
I don't know if you need help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help.
So,
Thank you.
Okay, let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
Okay, can I see your driver's license?
What for?
You may be curious about why the driver is acting so defensive. The situation unfolded a few seconds earlier when the driver directed an expletive at the officer from his vehicle. While this action was not illegal, the officer opted to follow him. Later, when the driver indicated a turn, he was pulled over. 2 significant errors have already been committed by the officer. Initially, he stated that he pulled the driver over for shouting from his car window, but later changed his explanation, claiming it was to check the driver's mental well-being.
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something from your car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm yelling?
I don't know if you need help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help.
So,
Thank you.
Okay, let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
Okay, can I see your driver's license?
What for?
While most individuals are aware of the protection of free speech under the First Amendment and the legality of passively yelling curse words in America, the officer's rationale shifted when challenged by the driver. Following that, the officer insisted that the stop was prompted by the driver's turn, which was completely lawful, rendering the stop unnecessary for a different reason. Thankfully, the driver is fully cognizant of this and allows the imprudent officer to incriminate himself on his dash cam for all to witness.
Where are you coming from?
I don't answer questions, I've already told you. Let me know when I'm free to go. Also, what is your name? What's your name? Your name? Sheriff, that's your name? Sherry?
Right above it, right there. You see it?
I'm not familiar with the English alphabet, sir.
See on the ticket.
Okay, can I have an incident number, please? Oh, a ticket, okay.
Now the officer is playing tough and refusing to provide the driver with his name. Nevertheless, once again, this officer is entirely mistaken, as Texas law mandates that an officer must provide their identification when requested by a member of the public.
Do me a favor, while I have you here, okay? I don't want you exiting the vehicle because you have a weapon in the car.
Did I exit the vehicle? Did I exit the vehicle?
Give you a heads up.
Did I exit the vehicle? Hey, can I? You do have a dash cam, right? Very good.
The officer's defensive body language clearly shows his reaction to having his authority challenged.
You can't just pull me over because I said police. I hope you realize that. Stupid. I'm sorry?
Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah,
Can you show it to me, please? It doesn't come back.
of course it comes back.
Not on my system, it doesn't. Is that your current address? 1622?
Is that a question?
Yes, sir. Is that your current
Do
address?
I answer questions?
Okay, I'll just assume that's incorrect then.
And why would you do that? Did you read my address on the driver
It
license?
didn't have an address. It didn't
That-
have an apartment number on your driver's
Of course it does.
Let me see. Can you verify?
You've already seen it. I've already complied with that part.
I know, but I'm just saying it didn't have a driver. It didn't have an apartment number
Of course it does.
on your address, on your driver's license.
Man.
Okay, I'll be right back. Say that I've never met anybody quite like you that would yell at an officer doing their job. But
So,
you have a great
let
day.
me
There's no
understand,
warnings, no fines, no-
Despite trying every trick in the book to outsmart the driver, nothing seems to work, ultimately leading to the worst mistake of the entire enconder.
There's questions on there. There's the address.
Yeah,
There's
no, I
the-
have a
there's
question.
an incident
Can you
number
get your
on the thing right
supervisor
there.
here, please?
No,
Is the stop over?
the stop is over. You may leave.
All right.
We don't exit until I get out. Until I leave.
Well, you said the stop is over, right?
Don't get out until I have to-
Okay, I'm not getting out. I will.
Open the door. Let me get back to my car.
Okay, there is no need to draw your weapon, man. Are you fucking drawing your weapon, you fucker? I didn't get out of the car. You told me that already. Yeah. Did I get out of the car? Go fuck yourself.
Upon the officer stating the traffic stop was over, he also directed the driver to stay inside his car, a command that the driver obeyed. It raises doubts about whether this cop can get anything right. Following the conclusion of this stop, the driver filed a complaint and is also set to file a lawsuit. If one thought that cop was clueless, the next two officers are so unintelligent as they allow themselves to be recorded discussing how to unjustly detain an individual. Upon seeing a man holding up a sign on the side of the road in March of 2022, cops opt to pull over and inspect the situation.
I am engaged in a First Amendment activity that is protected by.
take the sign if
You
you
are
put it up.
not.
Listen,
You are not
keep the
taking
sign,
my
but
property.
listen to
You
me.
see what this did? You see what he did?
Give me the
Don't
sign.
put your hands on me. Do not.
The man, identified as Jonathan, was alerting drivers about an upcoming speed trap, which greatly offended these two cops. Traffic fines form a percentage of the police department's budget, and these Delaware cops were not willing to allow Jonathan to obstruct this crucial revenue source.
So you can. I'm disrupting nothing. I'm gonna do it right here where I'm at. So I'm not.
I have drivers coming up to me telling me that you're jumping out in traffic.
Because apparently they're erroneous. I don't give a what somebody else says. What did you witness? Nothing of the sort. So keep your to yourself, pal.
Nevertheless, Jonathan rejects their claims of him entering the road and stands firm in his position.
Put your hands on me. You see what this did? You see what he did? Don't put your hands on me. Do not. Give me my property back. You piece of.
However, the actions of one officer that follow might have entirely infringed upon this citizen's right to express himself. Jonathan proceeds to inform the cops that he will return promptly with a new sign. As he drives away, he directs an insulting hand gesture towards the cops, leading them to pull him over.
The reason I stopped you is you had your hand out the window with
So
the
what?
finger.
So what? It's constitutionally protected speech.
Is there a reason why you're doing that? Is there a reason why you're doing that?
You're stopping me for constitutionally protected speech, right?
Because you had your hand out the window.
This is what I did. You got a problem with that?
Sir,
Listen to me. Listen to me.
No.
The events during this traffic stop are not just foolish, but blatantly corrupt. Both cops appear to be fumbling over exactly why they pulled him over, and it's truly starting to look embarrassing at this moment.
Conduct.
No, it is not.
That is
That is called freedom of speech.
If you are out in the public, you are out in the public and people see you.
No, it is not.
The cops seem to be attempting to arrest him on any charges they can find, and when that fails, they resort to underhanded tactics.
We're going to take you in, we're going to tow the car, and we'll call social services for the kid.
Oh, so now you're threatening. Now you're threatening my
No,
child.
it's not a threat, it's a promise.
You heard the cop correctly. He just mentioned involving social services and having Jonathan's child taken away from him.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey,
what you got?
He stuck his middle finger out of the window.
Oh, okay.
What's that? What's that?
We could lock him up for disorderly conduct. He probably won't go anywhere.
Nah, what's that?
What makes this case even more startling is that these two cops intend to imprison him by any means necessary, and it was all captured on their own cameras.
You can't. I mean, he pulled him over for it, like giving him the middle finger.
For giving the middle finger. So
Yeah, you can't do that. That'll get dropped.
yeah, that's gonna get thrown. I told him that's gonna get thrown out, but
Despite being advised by their supervisor that the charges will be dropped, they still have a grand plan to put Jonathan in jail. At the conclusion, Jonathan initiated a legal action against the officers, accusing them of violating his constitutional rights by hindering him from alerting motorists about a speed trap. He emerged victorious in the case in September 2023 and was granted a $50,000 settlement. The aversion towards bad cops makes it even more gratifying when a good cop brings one to justice.
He's detained right now because he's 14. Yes. So I already explained to him he's detained right now. I told him that. Why is he detained?
This sequence of events unfolded on January 14, 2021 in Harnett County, North Carolina. A resident's report of her dirt bike being stolen triggered a chain of events that led to an innocent 14-year-old being treated unfairly. 16 days after the dirt bike was reported missing, it surfaced on Facebook Marketplace. Upon discovering this, the owner arranged a meeting with the seller to confront them. When they arrived, they were met by 14-year-old Malcolm, who had the dirt bike in question. They made a deal and informed Malcolm that they were going to an ATM to withdraw cash, but instead, they called 911. The dilemma arose from the fact that Malcolm was entirely innocent. He had purchased the dirt bike from the real criminal unknowingly. Malcolm, who enjoyed fixing and selling bikes as a hobby, found himself in handcuffs, a stark contrast to his usual profitable activities.
Do me a favor, man. Go and put your hand back home, yes, sir. That's an assault on the vehicle.
The officer arrested him without verifying any facts, having no way of knowing if Malcolm actually possessed stolen goods and neglecting to listen to his side.
It's been reported stolen, it's been edited as stolen, so right now you are in possession of a stolen motor vehicle.
The officer maintains that possessing a stolen vehicle is illegal, a common truth. However, this case presents a unique scenario. While knowingly buying or owning a stolen item is criminal, Malcolm's innocence stems from his genuine lack of awareness.
Right now, what we've got is we just got a stolen motor vehicle. We're not saying that you stole the vehicle. Okay, I'm not saying that at all, okay? But it still is a crime to be in possession of a stolen motor vehicle. So your dad, you're talking with your dad right now.
I can tell you, I can show you, if you can go on, you can go on my phone, I can show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We met at the Lillington Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
This arrest, therefore, could be deemed highly unlawful given Malcolm's sincere lack of knowledge about the bike's origin. As Malcolm's father seeks evidence that his son legally purchased the bike, two other responding officers start expressing their concerns about the unfolding situation right before them. The officer demonstrates expertise when explaining the distinction between detaining an adult and a child. After persuading his colleague to reassess the situation, the arresting officer eventually reconsiders his stance. Upon being released, Malcolm discovers the receipt for the dirt bike, leading to no further action. However, his family later holds a press conference advocating for police reform following another juvenile's mishap with law enforcement.